For the past 15 years, Priscilla Suarez has had many roles at the award-winning McAllen Public Library. Suarez says there's more than books at the McAllen Public Library. You can check out your favorite movies, use a computer for free, reserve a meeting room, take advantage of the free Wi-Fi, or attend one of the many community events scheduled throughout the year. She is currently the events coordinator for many events at the library.
I love working at the library because there's always something different. We're always changing. It's a cultural hub. A lot of people don't see how we are a cultural hub, but we are. We're not a traditional library, as many of us grew up with. We're a modern library, and so with that, we have so many different programs and events that we host. We have a cafe at the library, so it's always something different. It's always fun and fast-paced.
The McAllen Public Library has their annual gala, especially the biggest event in October, which everyone is welcome to join in on the fun for people of all ages.
So with the South Texas Book Festival, we actually are about to celebrate our 10th anniversary, and every year we're growing. It's growing, the numbers grow. We have more community partners. We have a really amazing group of authors that are local authors, but we also have regional. We have authors from throughout the nation that come and join us.
Suarez is not only passionate about coordinating events and working at the library. She was selected as the McAllen Poet Laureate by the McAllen Chamber of Commerce Arts Council from 2015 to 2017. The Poet Laureate is a ceremonial position meant to promote poetry and the arts in the city of McAllen and the Rio Grande Valley community.
Marking my interest in that chisme. As a Poet Laureate, a lot of people have the assumption that it means that you're the best poet. That's not what it means. Being a Poet Laureate is a job. And so as a Poet Laureate, what you're supposed to do is help open doors for your community, find spaces, find venues, and also find ways to bring your community together and support your community.
Suarez took it as her mission to promote the Hispanic culture by serving as an ambassador to other local writers and poets who grew up with two cultures and languages, both English and Spanish.
For me, we live in a very distinctive region, and even being from the border, from the Mexican-American border, our region is very different from the California border, from New Mexico, from Arizona. Even our language, I'm a Pocha. I admit it, I'm a Pocha, and I have pride in being a Pocha. And even our tongue twisting, our code switching is very different in this region to the Californian region. We're very different, not only our food, our lenguaje, our culture, the way people have their experiences is very different, and it's something that inspires me a lot when I write. We just have a very different connection.
This Poet Laureate says she embraces her Tex-Mex cultural roots because it's who she is.
Being a Pocha used to be a derogatory word, but many of us own it, and we use it to describe ourselves. So being a Pocha is someone who is of Mexican descent, and now we live in the U.S., and we've lost our native tongue, which was Spanish. And so we try to speak Spanish. It just doesn't happen. The way our code switching just gets really messed up, and we invent words.
She calls it lenguaje or Spanglish. Suarez has used her life experiences to write about her life. She has even been asked by the city of McAllen to write poems for specific initiatives, such as the annual Women's History Month and the International Women's Day Breakfast Symposium.
Our stories are very powerful, and we've had it throughout generations, the spoken word, the way we share our cuentos, even when you speak of poetry. We grew up listening to Trabalenguas, tongue twisters. It's very, very powerful, and it's handed down, maybe not through physical literature, but definitely through oral history or oral traditions.
Suarez has authored 2 books that are close to her heart.
She'd sing me to wake up with las mañanitas, even when it wasn't my birthday, or con el canto del gallo. Kikiriki, despertaremos aquí, kikiriki, kikiriki.
It's her love for her grandmother that inspired her first book.
We have Cuentos Abuela Told Me that scared the beeswax out of me. This one is a collection of leyendas, and as we're saying, tongue twisters, trabalenguas, and poetry. And so in our region, we grew up listening to las leyendas, for example, like La Llorona. And even with La Llorona, we all have different renditions. Like when I go to events, sometimes children will argue with me about what the correct story of La Llorona is. And so that's what this book is. It's a collection of short stories about our regional leyendas. And I can't say that there's my stories, there are stories. There are collective stories.
You can find her first book, Cuentos Huela Told Me That Scared the Beeswax Out of Me, and the second book is La Landia, A Journey Through My Frontera CD Shuffle, either at Amazon Books or Barnes & Noble under Priscilla Celina Suarez.
I've always enjoyed poetry, especially as a young adult when I ran across local spoken poets who express themselves using my language, my lenguaje, who wrote about our community. I didn't know that it was possible to write about our community, but seeing that really just blew my mind. And so I didn't also think that I would write books. Writing a book is very scary. That's, you're opening up a chapter of your life, and, you're gonna get good feedback, you're gonna get bad feedback.
Suarez is already planning a book 3. The library is her happy place because she hopes to support local young teens who may become poets themselves.
We work with a lot of youth, a lot of teenagers, and just seeing the way that they're excited, just seeing how they're activists, they're passionate, and they have a lot to say, and they have a different viewpoint of their experiences here in the Valley. So I'm very excited about them documenting. I'm very excited about them pursuing their own careers.
As one of McAllen's own, Priscilla says she's always looking to hear more from family and friends to share her ideas, but more importantly, to listen to their personal experiences to get inspiration for her next poems and book, all while hosting those fabulous events at the McAllen Public Library. For the City of McAllen, I'm Roy Cantu.